Bombshell breaking news tonight about to stun the entire valley. 2 cases, a massive trail of terror, and possibly only one suspect.
At 5, we showed you our first look at this guy here, Aaron Saucedo, the man named a person of interest in the serial street shootings.
And now ABC 15 has learned exclusively the 9 street shootings from 2016 and 11 freeway shootings in 2015 may be linked.
ABC 15 anchor Christopher Sine joining us now in studio with more on this investigation. Chris?
Stephanie and Steve, it is significant and complicated, so let's walk through this. What you're about to see right here is the gun Phoenix police believe was involved in a 2015 cold case murder. A gun owned by that of Aaron Saucedo, who is currently in custody for that murder. Just so happens DPS grabbed that same gun from a pawn shop as part of the freeway shootings investigation. There's that gun, and listen to this. As DPS was preparing that gun for testing, things get interesting. The gun was among at least 8 seized as part of the freeway shootings investigation. So DPS test fired all of those guns and analyzed bullet fragments, then came upon of what they thought was a match and stopped. That would lead to the arrest of Leslie Merritt Jr., and DPS thought they found the freeway shooter. So Saucedo's gun never got analyzed and went back to the pawn shop. Then months later, Phoenix PD grabbed the gun and conducted its own testing, leading to a murder arrest for Saucedo. As for the freeway shootings, they remain unsolved. DPS tells me the freeway shooting investigation remains active, and there is no link between Saucedo and Merritt. As for Leslie Merritt, the man originally arrested for the freeway shootings, he's been released and charges dropped after experts refuted the report linking Merritt's gun to the shootings. Here's Merritt's attorney, Jason Lamb.
Based on the information that was produced to us by the county attorney, that DPS never looked any further than Mr. Merritt's gun, even though it was sitting right under their nose the whole time.
So you may be asking yourself, so could Saucedo be tied to the freeway shootings? Phoenix PD and DPS, both of them I spoke with today, and tell me they are sharing information on all of these crimes and on all open cases. And a short time ago, I spoke with DPS again. Every single question I had was answered. Steve and Stephanie coming up in minutes. They're going to tell me why an analysis was not done on Saucedo's gun.
And that's the answer we're all looking for. So looking forward to that. Chris, thank you. Meantime, let's now zero in on this serial street shootings case, which has been haunting the families of these 7 victims. All of them desperate for answers, but forced to wait for justice.
They were gunned down between March and July of last year. 9 shootings in all. A teenager surviving the first one and a man surviving the last on July 11th near 30th Street in Oak. That's where ABC 15's Jason Valentine is live right now.
And Jason, the guy who survived got a pretty good look at the killer.
He did. You remember this wanted poster? This picture right here, the image burned into all of our minds as the serial street shooter. Now, Phoenix police made this based on help from the shooter's final victim. He was attacked right here at this corner last July, and to our knowledge, he's the only person to see the shooter and live. He says last week, police came back to him asking for more help, linking an actual face, a picture, to this sketch. The serial street shooter sketch looks a lot like the face in this picture.
I don't know, I get like these chills.
The street shooter's final victim saw a picture of Aaron Saucedo for the first time last week when police showed up at his house to let him know
that we caught a guy and we think it might be him.
We're not showing the victim's identity for his protection. He says last week police showed him several pictures asking if he could identify the serial street shooter. Saucedo was one of the people in that photo lineup. Police sources have told us Saucedo is their person of interest in the street shooter case. Now, they're not telling us what evidence links the two, but Saucedo was arrested at his Central Phoenix home last week, accused of a totally unrelated murder from 2015. And remember that sketch? Until now, the black BMW was the other street shooter calling card, and neighbors say Saucedo drives one just like it. This picture taken by a neighbor who suspected Saucedo last summer, and neighbors say when police raided Saucedo's home last week, they towed his black BMW. Now, we have reached out to Saucedo in jail 2 separate times asking him for jailhouse interviews. So far, he has turned down both of those requests. Live in Phoenix, I'm Jason Valentine, ABC 15 Arizona.
Thanks so much, Jason. Now let's take you back to that case we first brought you in August of 2015, the one already linked to Saucedo. A 61-year-old father of 5, Raul Romero, shot and killed in the parking lot of his Phoenix duplex. Turns out he was the boyfriend of Aaron Saucedo's mother. Now, nearly 2 years later, finally an arrest. The 23-year-old put in handcuffs last week, being held on $750,000 bond. He's due back in court on Wednesday. Our work is just beginning, though. We're digging deeper to answer the questions we know you have. Another update coming up at 6:30, plus continuing coverage on abc15.com and ABC 15 Mobile.
Right now.